Good morning, grade 8. Welcome to our lesson today. My name is teacher Eric. You all know me. Our new topic, international organization. That is our last topic. And under international organization, we shall be looking at very many things. First of all, we shall be looking at peace and stability. We shall be looking at organizations in the world that ensure that there is peace, and we shall also be looking at the two world wars. But whenever there's peace, that means there is no war, right? Whenever there is war, it means there is no peace, and everybody in the world wants peace, would like to live in a peaceful way so that they can develop, so that they can live a good life. But what is peace? If everybody wants peace, what is peace? Peace means absence of war. There's no fighting. Stability means being well fixed and firmly fixed. That means you cannot fall at any time. You are stable. And as you remember, in our previous classes, grade 7, we learned about the First and the Second World War. Now the same thing again here in our lesson. We shall look at the following important points about the First World War. I think some of you already know which year the First World War started and which year it ended. So important points to note here is that sometimes we write WW1 here, Roman 1 mean World War I or First World War. They mean the same thing. It started in the year 1914 and ended in the year 1918. You can see I have highlighted. It means it's important for you to note, for you to remember those years. Now in 1914, before the First World War, this is what happened. Something that can make you fight with somebody else is because this person maybe was a bad person, or maybe this person beat you up, or maybe this person is your enemy. So there must be something that can make a war to start. You don't just walk on the road and start beating people like a crazy person. No, there must have been something bad that has happened to you. Okay? So in 1914, just before the First World War, the world divided itself into two major sides. One side was the Central Power, also known as the Axis. And this side included countries like Germany, Austria-Hungary, Turkey, also known as the Ottoman, Italy, Japan, and Bulgaria. While the other side, remember there were two sides. One side is the Central Power. The other side was called the Allies, or the Allied side, which included Britain, France, Russia, China, Belgium, USA, Norway, and Poland. So those were the two sides that were fighting, because you fight with the person who is your enemy. So the enemy of the Allied were the Central Power. Two sides are fighting. They're fighting two sides. Now, what made them to fight? Factor that caused the First World War. You have to get the immediate factor, which we learned in grade 7, is the assassination. Assassination means killing. The assassination of the Austrian prince called Francis Ferdinand. And he was an Austrian prince, and Austria as a country blamed Serbia. Some of you the other day, I remember you were saying, okay, you said that Austria and Australia are the same. No, Austria is a country in Europe, while Australia is a continent on its own in southern part. So Austria blamed Serbia. Austria declared war on Serbia and Russia. So they declared war on Serbia and Russia. Russia mobilize its army. To mobilize means to bring the army together and make them ready to fight. So Russia mobilized its army. They gave army the weapons, all the things that they needed for war. Germany declared war on France because France was an ally and Germany was central power. Germany declared war on France because France was helping the other countries here. It was helping Serbia. There was also the pre-war alliances. You remember, alliances means coming up in groups. So before the war, countries had made up groups, and that is actually one group was provoking the other, was attacking the other. Now, that is about the First World War. The reason why it started: assassination of Francis Ferdinand, pre-war alliances, Germany declared war on France, among others. What about the Second World War? When did it start, and which side was on which side? What were the factors that led to the Second World War? More or less the same factors, but we shall look at which year it broke out. Now, the Second World War started in the year 1939. Mark that, and you can see I have highlighted in yellow. It started in 1939 and ended in 1945. The Allied countries, remember, the Allied countries remained the same apart from maybe for Italy. They remained together in the Second World War apart from Italy, which went to unite with the Central Powers. See? That means now Italy was on the side of Germany and other countries. During the war, Germany was defeated, and its leader, by then we looked at the dictator Adolf Hitler, killed himself. You know, it's a big shame. Your country has been defeated so badly, and the only thing that you can do is committing suicide. You don't have the courage, you fear, you are looking at yourself as inferior. So he decided to kill himself after the Second World War. Germany, because he was the leader of Germany, when your leader kills himself, what happens? Germany now decided to surrender, and then the country divided itself into East Germany and West Germany. They surrendered. To surrender means, okay, you have defeated me, I surrender. Then that's what actually Germany did. And within that time, in December 1941, the Second World War was still going on. Japan helped Germany to attack the USA. In fact, Japan went and bombed a port, you know, the port that has the ships and the boats and the warships. So Japan went and bombed the port, the harbor in the USA, and then the USA decided now to attack Japan. This made America to enter the Second World War. And so if you are asked maybe somewhere later or at the end of the lesson that in which year did the USA enter the Second World War, you should have a point to explain that the USA entered the Second World War in December 1941 after Japan had bombed it. And so this actually the Japanese now surrendered after the USA planes dropped a large atomic bomb or large atomic bombs on their cities, large towns, on their cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Two major cities were bombed by the US bombs. They were large bombs. They dropped one on the city of Hiroshima that killed very many people, another one on the city of Nagasaki that also killed very many people. So with that, actually, you are going to try and go through the notes again. Look at what peace means. Look at the First World War, which we said that it began in 1914 and ended in 1918. Look at the factors or the causes of the First World War and those alliances, I mean, like the groups that the world had divided itself into, the Central Powers and the Allies. Then later you are also going to look at the Second World War and when it started, the year in which the USA entered the Second World War. Then later on, there are some questions at the end of the lesson. You'll have to pause the video at every stage so that you can copy the notes diligently with good handwriting. Then you will write the questions below. Question number 1, you can see it. List 4 factors that led to the outbreak of World War I. Outbreak means to start, to break out. 2, in which year did the USA enter the Second World War? Already we have looked at that. It's very simple for you. 3, name 4 countries that belong to the Axis or Central Power in the Second World War. Which 2 Japanese cities were hit by American bombs in 1945? You are also going to write the names here. And finally, what is the meaning of peace? You are going to attempt those questions. Then we shall do correction in our next lesson. With that, I wish you a nice time as you look at that work and as you revise. Please continue revising your work. Stay safe. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Bye.